Europe versus Silicon Valley, how do you see clean tech in Europe versus Silicon Valley in terms of competitiveness, quality of startups, funding, all of that?
Well, I think with Trump at the moment, it's kind of clean tech isn't really doing much at the moment. The investment's gone down, and it's such a shame because I think until a few years ago, there was a real sense that America wanted to invest heavily in clean tech and was going to do something big. But we've seen it tail off in the last couple of years with the current policies. So I think Europe and Asia are probably doing more. But I would imagine in a couple of years' time, who knows what's going to happen? What I do know is that Silicon Valley move very fast, and they can really move mountains. So I think the more people that are doing this thing, the better, because it is a global problem we're trying to address. And it's one planet, we all live on it. So the more every country can do, the better.
Right, but I also feel like in Europe that because there's agreement across Europe that climate change is real, and that it's important, it's urgent to do something about it now. So you've got sort of like mind across Europe, UK and the rest of Europe, to take action on it. And so, my impression is. Even before sort of the Trump situation, that clean tech, they were doing things in the U.S., but I always had the impression that in Europe they were actually doing more, and because a society values it and supports it equally across all of Europe.
Yeah,
and
I remember one of my very early experiences with the Climate Kick teams. They're explaining to me that actually, if you look at major European cities, a lot of them are on rivers. You look at Paris on the Seine, and London on the Thames, Amsterdam on the Amstel.
Right.
It doesn't take much sea level rise, and some of our major cities are actually in trouble.
Yeah.
So it is very pertinent to Europe, and it's a different impact from climate change to other areas of the world where we see wildfires or tornadoes or whatever. But Europe is very vulnerable. So it has this social desire to actually do something about it, which is great.
It's a combination, from my view, of a social desire combined with money. So they're giving resources, money, people like you, to it, people who know what they're doing, to sort of create new things, but then also the cross-pollination of ideas across Europe, I think, is happening in a way that it's amazing. I really am thrilled to be here working in this environment, because people always say, well, how come you're here, not in Silicon Valley? But I find that Europeans have achieved so much, and one of the key issues for them to sort of find their place in the world is that they are quite modest about communicating their achievements. And so what I can help is to
absolutely,
improve the impact of that communication, and also the value of the agreement of social agreements across all these different countries in Europe that support the improvement of the climate situation, is like just certain basic values that they agree to. You don't have to fight about them, argue about them like they do in the States.
Yeah, it's commonly accepted.
It's accepted across Europe. Makes it so much easier to sort of move things forward here.